A 17-year-old boy shackled in 2 sets of chains, a courtroom gasps, and a mother pleads for mercy. What followed shocked everyone. This isn't just a bond hearing. This is a fight for freedom, family, and justice in one of San Antonio's most gripping courtroom dramas.
Well, I mean, you want to talk to the deputies why that is case? Deputy Laura, he wants to know why his client is in 2 sets of chains.
Jail never ceases to amaze me.
The wonders never cease. That's what happens. All right, court is calling 2025 CR 006058A, State versus Dorian Camaro. Could I have parties announced?
I think y'all wait for the state.
Notice cards for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Camaro?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so this is actually set on the docket for July 24th, but your attorney is here and you're asking for bond reduction, correct?
That's correct.
All right, and the court will note for the record, you are actually due to be here on June 9th, but jail transportation, the bus was inoperable, so that's why you were not brought here on that date. So you are here for this date. And to the clerks, do double check. I've already signed investigation motion, but I have another one. So if you could just check to see if you all have it or I need to sign another one.
Yes.
All right, State, are you ready to proceed on the motion?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Cox, you may proceed.
All right, Judge, I called. Well, I had the court to take judicial notice that the bond in this case is set at $500,000.
Okay.
Be part of the bond. And I call Erica Murillo. Please. Fine. Maria, my Espanol no more Wayne. So learns.
Hey, I'm with you. Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up because the court reporter has to hear. Off the record for Cindy, do you want to give her one of those little microphones that may help you?
Oh, here, you can put this one. No. You could just step up closer to the mic also.
Yeah. There you go. All right. All right, if you'll state your name for the record.
Yes, ma'am. It's Erica Murillo.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Great, thanks. And ma'am, Dorian Camaro.
Camarillo.
Okay. Do you see him in the courtroom? Is he in the courtroom with us? Your son?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. In your relationship, you're his mom, right?
Yes.
Okay, man. In terms of, do you live in San Antonio?
Yes.
Okay, and how long have you lived in San Antonio?
Going to 3 years now.
And presently, you live in a house or apartment?
When we used to live in Dallas, a house.
Okay, but here you live in an apartment now or?
A house.
A house, okay. And who normally live in that house with you?
My son, my daughter, and myself, and my
Okay.
pets.
Now, in terms of your son, Dorian, how old is he?
Dorian, he's 17.
17 years old?
Yeah.
Is he a high school student?
Yes.
What school does he?
Reading high school.
And
All right, just 1 second, off the record. Now, he's already on it. Sorry, Mr. Cox, we were just cleaning up the matter. Mr. Cox, you may continue.
all right. Okay. And your son is you indicated that he's in high school, correct?
Correct.
And is a Reagan High School,
Yes, sir.
and that high school is in San Antonio.
Correct.
And what grade is he?
11.
Second grade. So you anticipate that he will be graduating high school next year?
2026.
Now, are you employed here in the city?
Yes, sir.
How are you employed?
FedEx. Ground.
Now, ma'am, you understand that your son filed to set at $500,000.
Yes, sir.
That's something that you could, well, we just bond set at $500,000. Can you bond it?
We have family, things that can help us. Yeah.
But you can't, can you make the $500,000?
No, 500,000. Maybe a little lower. That works for us. Yeah.
Now, your son presently, is he presently employed?
He was, whenever the summer school, that's when he used to work.
Basically, he's a full-time student, correct?
Yes, only on summer he used to do it.
Does he have money in the bank?
No,
Does he own any property?
no,
So we basically, you, in terms of the house where he lives with you.
yes,
And you provided basically.
correct.
And you support not only him, but his sister also.
My daughter, yeah. I have a daughter. Also. And my pets.
Okay. Pass with you.
All right, state.
Ms. Murillo, you said you currently live in San Antonio, is that correct? Okay, and you said you've lived here for about 3 years, is that correct?
Yes,
And you lived in Dallas before that?
20 years.
Okay, do you still have family in Dallas?
Yes.
Okay, what does that consist of up in Dallas?
That's family.
Uh,
Dorian's dad.
that's Dorian's dad, that's lives up
The
there.
family.
Okay, and he has family up there as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and did Dorian attend school up in Dallas?
Yes.
Okay, up to what grade did he go to school up there?
We moved from Dallas to Virginia when he was 11.
Okay, and so he attended school from the time he was 11 until 3 years ago in Dallas?
No, he was born in Dallas, my son. So he went to pre-K all the way when he was 11. So then we moved to Virginia for like 3 years. And he attended school over there.
Okay.
And then we moved back to San Antonio.
Okay, so let me see if I'm following you correctly. So Dorian, your son, he was born in Dallas, is that correct?
Yeah.
And so you lived there with his father in Dallas when he was born?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you lived there for some time until Dorian was 11, is that
11.
correct? Okay, and then at that time you moved to Virginia. Okay, and so do you have family in Virginia as well?
No, that's because of daddy's job. He do a construction environment.
Okay, okay, and so did Dorian attend school in Virginia as well?
Yes.
Okay, so it's fair to say he probably has friends still in Dallas and probably in Virginia,
More in Dallas. to
more
be
in
honest.
Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you all moved to San Antonio 3 years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you said that you live in a home currently, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you renting that home or do you own it?
No, we rent.
Okay. And your daughter that you also have to support, how old is she?
My daughter Sabrina, she's 16.
Okay. And so she's not working, is that correct?
No,
Now you said that you work at FedEx, is that correct? Is that full-time or part-time?
kind of like part-time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your working hours?
From 3 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
Okay. And what is your hourly rate that you get paid?
$20.
$20 an hour?
Mhm.
Do you get any extra compensation for working like a differential shift overnight?
No, no.
No?
Mhm.
Okay. And how many hours per week do you work?
25,
25?
27 sometimes.
Okay, at $20 per hour.
Mhm.
So you stated that have you contacted any bonding companies yet?
Yes,
Okay, about how many have you contacted?
like 2 of them.
2, okay.
already.
And you stated that you've kind of started to gather family to help you?
Yes.
Okay, and so that's a resource that you have, your family is willing to help you to make a bond, is that
Yes,
correct?
ma'am. That's correct.
Okay, and you stated Dorian in the summers that he used to be employed, where he used to work at?
With daddy.
Oh,
in
in the
the
construction?
Mhm.
Okay. And so, do you have a car?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you own that car?
No, I'm doing it all. with the
Okay.
daddy.
We have to listen to them.
Any further questions?
Nothing further.
All right, thank you. I'll leave with the court reporter.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We rest.
All right, state any oh, you can have a seat. State any witnesses?
Witnesses, Judge, but at this time we offer State's Exhibit number 1 for the purposes of this hearing.
Any objections?
Objection, Judge, that is not evidence. They're proffering. I presented evidence. So that proffer, and this is not evidence. So I would object to it. That's grounds.
All right,
In
that,
the proper cause hearing, I think sometimes you can use hearsay, those types of things. But, for evidentiary hearing,
but also for bond reductions, correct?
Yeah.
Because the rules of evidence don't apply to bond reductions. Am I incorrect?
I think for a well, someone, with my position that is that someone would have to be the person that they would present the evidence. Just by, I can put in a encyclopedia and say, well, just look at this. Someone would need to be able to make the correct profit. I don't think the correct profit can make.
Okay. All right, the objection will be overruled and the court will will review State's Exhibit number 1 just for purposes of this hearing. And if y'all will step back while I read this. All right. All right, Mr. Camarillo. All right, the court has read State's Exhibit number 1. And Mr. Camarillo, the court is reading State's Exhibit number 1 really for the sole purpose of making a determination on what your bond should be set at. That will ensure the safety of the community and also ensure that you appear at court.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's what this entire hearing about. The State's Exhibit number 1 is not for me to review it in light of, does the state prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt? Because that's something where witnesses will be called and your attorney can make objections and you may have hearsay objections and other type of objections. So this is strictly for me to review that, take in consideration the testimony of your mother and decide what your bond should be set at. Do you understand? So I've reviewed the documents, I've heard the testimony, and the court will hear argument on bond requests.
This is my motion that I waive and reserve your closing.
It's so rare that defense attorneys get a chance to do that. When I see it, I like to see it. All right, State.
Judge, at this time, we're requesting that you keep the bond at $500,000. I think what came out during the testimony, well, in addition to State's Exhibit number 1 and community safety aspect of this offense, in addition to what came out in the testimony is that the defendant does not really have sufficient ties here to the community and Bear County. I believe that he's a flight risk based on the testimony that he has sufficient ties, mostly in Dallas, but also avenues in Virginia. Further, the testimony is that they have began reaching out to bond companies and have additional members of the family to help make the bond. So we believe that is set in a sufficient amount and would request that we keep it at $500,000.
All right, and Mr. Cox,
Okay.
if you don't mind, if I could take up Miss Russell's case,
Oh, that's
only
fine.
because she has to travel
Oh,
to take care of another client.
That's fine. Yeah.
All right, a CPS client. So if you'll just have a seat, if I could see the parties on Christina Garza. Thank you, Mr. Cox. She said that she had someone who had a child reunification meeting, so.
No problem.
All right, so we're back on the record in 2025 CR 00605-8A, State versus Dorian Camaro. The parties reannounced.
Megan Galloway for the state.
Cornelius Scott for the defendant.
All right, and so we were proceeding with closing arguments and the defense had reserved their
Yes.
closing. You may proceed, counsel.
Judge, one thing I noticed, most times when the state make their positions on bond, the goal, if the person has a prior record, that's one of the first things that we hear. Nothing, silent. Client doesn't have a prior record. Secondly, it appears that when the original bond was set in this case, the original charge was capital murder.
Mhm.
That charge has been reduced. Because as everyone knows, capital murder would be, if you were convicted, it would be life without parole or possibly the death penalty. Not in his case because of his years. So we're not talking about those type of situations. We're actually talking about a first degree. So what I'm asking the court to do in this case is set the bond, which is typically set in a case where there's a first degree. Now, the state proper state exhibit number 1 in even in that proper, it doesn't suggest that my client shot anyone or urged anybody to do that. It appears that the person that is deceased was a person that was allegedly in a vehicle, and it never an indication that my client at all did anything in terms of physically to harm this person. It appears that the perhaps the victim in alleged aggravated robbery actually shot and killed a.
So this is one of those cases, I believe, where you have the alleged defendants in a vehicle and the complainant is alleged to have shot one of the people in the vehicles, but it's also alleged that it was in the process of persons in the vehicle committing an offense. That's one of those Texas rules.
The bond.
Murder, yes.
So you have to do a lot of twisting and turning and maneuvering in terms of understanding. So my position, Judge, is that if it's murder case, first degree, at this point, we just want the bond set where a first degree case would normally be set. And my position is that is typically around the $100,000 mark, maybe up to $150,000 mark. I'm just asking the court we have a young man who's still in high school, to set it at somewhere in that area, even if the court needs the assurance of a electronic monitor, to have it monitored at all times, and that's fine. That's understandable. We just feel that to keep it, if the state reduces the charge, just with the court, the magistrate originally set it at $500,000 based on allegations of a capital murder. And that case is reduced then we just feel that the bond should be reduced to what is typical in a perjury situation. And that's all we're asking for, something that's in that.
Okay. All right. So what I can tell parties, and I want to make sure it's clear, because on what I have on the docket sheet, it says capital murder. So it's no longer listed as a capital murder. Is that correct?
That's great.
That's the indictment.
The indictment.
Felony murder and count 2 aggravated robbery.
Okay. All right. Anything else to put?
None.
And as a condition of his probation, I'm sorry, as a condition of his bond, is one of his conditions already for GPS or no?
Well, the copy that I have, it was a blank copy. So, but I would imagine that would be GPS.
All right. Let me just. I'm trying to look up his conditions of bond. It's not in my system. I don't have that in my Odyssey, at least what I have access to.
Then when I look at the notes on the jailing of the defendant, it says GPS full house arrest, no contact with the family and paid in full, no firearms, and random drug / alcohol test.
Okay. All right. This is what the court will do. Okay. All right. What I can say is based upon what the court has read and states exhibit number 1, and state, is it correct that this defendant does not have any prior cases? All right. So based upon what the court is reading in states exhibit number 1, based upon the evidence that has been tendered, in just one moment. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to set the bond at $250,000 with all previous conditions to include full GPS. There should be no contact with Roberto Alejandro Monreal, Esteban Torres, the family of Hayden Holt, Dorian, I'm sorry, there is another person. What is Harris's name?
Joseph.
And also Joseph Harris. All right, any other conditions you would like added, state, or are you requesting?
Judge, if I could just see the states as
Yes.
there's the conditions that you had Eric's, is that correct?
No, I did not put down Eric. You say Eric? And that's Cepeda with the S?
Yes.
All right, and no contact with Eric Cepeda.
And then one other person, there's juvenile, his last name. If I could just have it.
Sure. And Norma, can you give Mr. Camarillo a reset form in case he makes bond? And it should be for July 24th.
That was Eric Cepeda,
Roberto Monreal, Esteban Torres, Joseph Harris, and the family of Hayden Holt.
I believe that's all, Your Honor.
All right, anything else?
I have a question
Yes,
for employment,
I'm sorry, what?
for employment.
No. I'm not going to allow you to have employment. You're going to be on full GPS. That means that you have a location and you cannot leave that location. If your family is going, we can go off the record, if your family is going to the Whataburger, or is it Whataburger? I don't know.
What, I think it's
Whataburger,
What,
or Burger King, or wherever they may be, or to HEB, you're not allowed to go. You are staying at whatever location that GPS is at. Do you understand?
Understand?
So if your GPS is for you to be at a specific residence, because you have to have a residence in order to have GPS, you cannot leave that residence. And the way those GPSs are now, they're very sensitive. So what does that mean? If your family is having a cookout in your backyard, you can't go to the backyard to get your plate. They'll have to bring it to you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't go to the mailbox. It's going to go off. And if there's a violation of that GPS, what's going to end up happening? Somebody's going to review the violation report. They're probably going to issue a judge's warrant, and then we will discuss it later and evidence be presented. And if that evidence is enough to show that you violated your GPS, a judge may remand you without bond. Do you understand?
Understand?
All right. Anything else? Thank you.
oh, with, we waive fees on the people.
I'll ask that fees are, now that is an excellent question. I'll ask that fees are waived.